as you feel. And on Kentucky Neighbors this evening, we find a woman that shatters that myth by keeping active, including an active interest in the weather.
This segment of Kentucky Neighbors is sponsored by Houchins.
I guess Carl fishing. He would come in and ask me what the weather was, if I'd watched TV, and if I'd watched it. Usually I had it put down.
That's how Naoma McIntosh helped her late husband, recording the highs and lows daily, plus the weather conditions in Grayson County. It's her 22nd year of doing it, and to this 81-year young woman, there's more than weather data in her diaries.
What I do, if anything important comes up, I put it down. Somebody will call me and they'll say, Naoma, did you have it down what time I done so-and-so? And I've got it down.
Now that we know that Mrs. McIntosh has been keeping weather records for over 20 years, what would the weather have been like on that day, say, May 18th, 1972?
I think he went fishing, and anytime he went fishing, I had it down, and I told him.
Then they lived here in Clarkson, and it was fair just like today. Her son lives near Owensboro, and that's where the earlier diaries are. One weather event she'll always remember was this past winter.
I think this past year was one of the rarest, most terrible that I've ever went through.
By the way, Naoma has one other passion.
I love to walk. I walk everywhere. I walk to the grocery store. I don't always carry heavy packages back.
She walks 3 miles daily. Yes, Naoma McIntosh keeps going, and this advice can be used by us all.
We all have our problems. But put your mind in what you're going to do and do it, regardless of what others say.
In Litchfield, for Kentucky Neighbors, I'm Jeff Noble.
Dodge Caravan is America's favorite minivan.
Why?
Because it's always being improved. This year, both driver and front passenger airbags are standard.
Why?
To meet 1998 car safety requirements. Which is also why Caravan now has additional dynamic side impact protection. And there's an available integrated child safety seat that reclines.
Why?
Ask your mother. And now Dodge Caravans also come equipped with $500 cash back.
Ready to brighten up your home without spending a bundle? Come to Walmart, where you'll find the perfect mix of low prices and top-quality name-brand paint. Like Glidden for the interior and brand new House Beautiful for the exterior. You'll also find helpful paint pros like Brian, who can custom mix up to 3,000 different colors for you.
Quality paint supplies and low prices. It's the perfect mix.
And a great way to make sure your project is a big hit.
One good reason to get an Eagle Talon is not the 195 horsepower. It's not the 2-liter turbo. It's the 2.5 kids in your future. It's gonna happen, but before it does, have a few more thrills and a few more chills. Have a little fun. Get a little crazy. Get an Eagle Talon while your life is still your own.
See your local Jeep and Eagle dealer.
Tim's here now, and only one NBA game tonight.
Yeah, going down to the wire, this one being a good one. The big question, though, which Chicago team would show up tonight? Scott Williams skipped shoot-around this morning, accidentally sleeping in, he says. Scottie Pippen missed the last 1.8 seconds of Game 3 by choice. Whatever the reason, any games being played besides basketball tonight could cost the Bulls the series advantage. There is Scott Williams, and there is Coach Phil Jackson. Enough said. First quarter, the Knicks and Patrick Ewing taking it straight to the basket, and that is a great way to build an 11-point advantage. Second half, Scottie Pippen showing the great way to chop away at that advantage, executing a beautiful alley-oop. Bulls up by 7. Scott Williams still watching. Here's the play of the ball game, though. Hubert Davis for the game winner. It is no good, but you're not going to believe it. Scottie Pippen gets called for the foul. Bulls can't believe it. And yes, that cost Chicago the ball game, 87-86. Bulls, incidentally, were leading that game by 1 point before the foul. Davis nailed both free throws. Tough break. The Hawks and Pacers have the evening off. Indiana still leading that series by a game, but like Denver, Atlanta proving it's a hard team to finish off, and why not? The Hawks are the #1 seed. Who's going to win Game 6? Who cares? Right now, all the concern is with Kevin Willis playing with an injured thumb.
The joint, but, it's not nothing that I can't play with, pain that I can't deal with. So I'm going to go ahead and play, and hopefully it'll feel good.
Give me the attitude of this team, Kevin.
Good attitude, positive outlook. Guys are ready to go back to war again tomorrow. So we get that one, come home, and we can do some damage.
And speaking of damage, Indy 500 defending champ Emerson Fittipaldi is putting the heat on. 27 cars hit the Brickyard on the 7th straight day of practice. Fittipaldi, in that tough Penske car of his, turns in the fastest lap time at speeds near 228 miles an hour. Hey, and guess who's the second fastest? Well, if you think Al Unser Jr., you are correct. Also driving a Penske car. That qualifying continues on Saturday. Gopher Jen is still one of the early favorites to win the Preakness on Saturday. Only 4 days left to racing's second leg. Nick Zito's 3-year-old colt trying to become the first to win the Triple Crown since 1978.
He gets past this race, yes. If he doesn't, hey, God's been good to us to begin with, so that's what the game's about. We're going to try real hard. I mean, no one's going to try hard enough.
Okay, let's try to get it right this time. Allen County, Scottsville. Scott Shelton is not a Scotty. He is a Patriot. Nope, still wrong. He is a former Patriot. Shelton has signed with Campbellsville College after leading Allen County to its 15th district championship this past season. The flashy point guard led his team in scoring, steals, and, yeah, of course, assists. Area baseball fans are surely watching the Atlanta-Cincinnati series closely for bragging purposes, right? Hey, of course, we have the highlights for you. The Braves getting some punch from that guy, Fred McGriff. The booming trying to centers, helping the Bravos to the 3-1 win over the Reds. Florida sends 46-year-old Charlie Huff to the hill tonight. Hey, that's how you hold the knuckleball, folks. Huff showing off a little bit. Then Huff showing Jeff Kent just how to throw it. Nice play. Even I could play the big leagues if I had a pitch like that. The Marlins go on to beat the Mets behind that guy 4-3. It is do or die for the Warren Central Dragons tonight, taking on Greenwood. Ben Riley doing a fine job of relief for starter Tim Kearns. This is third strikeout of the ball game. Riley then shuts the door. Jody Riley, that is, the third baseman, throwing out the runner. That's the final out of the ball game. Ben Riley picks up the save. 5-2 is your final. Greenwood's Chad Oliver strikes out 12. Can you believe this? In the losing effort, what a tough blow. Elsewhere in baseball to talk about, Hard County will play LaRue County in District 18. Monroe beats Clinton County. A couple of girls softball games to tell you about. Allen County and Edmonson County advance to the championship games there. Also, Warren East and Warren Central will advance to the regional tournament.
All right. Speaking of students, when we come back, perfect attendance pays off for some of them. Stay with us.
Not far from your home, there's a place you can count on for low prices, day in and day out.
Memorial Day weekend is almost here, and your Bowling Green Walmart has everything you'll need for a fun-filled time, like snacks, drinks, and charcoal for cooking out. All at the low Walmart prices you expect. So come on in and stock up on the savings now.
Walmart, always the low price. Always.
Value first, checking with no charge for checks?
No limit on how many checks I write. No hidden charges?
No minimum balance?
No fee for using ATMs? Anywhere? Checking with no hidden charges.
No charge for traveler's checks? For everything?
No way.
You bet.
You sure?
I'm sure. Yes.
All right. Value first. Good choice.
Smart choice. Makes sense.
Worth changing banks for.
Worth changing banks for.
Is this for real?
What are you looking at? Strike the pose.
Experience the variety at Lockett Studios.
You notice how Ford compares the Taurus to other cars? Well, Ford doesn't dare take on the Oldsmobile Cutlass Supreme Special Edition. Okay, their Taurus LX is more than 19 grand without cruise, cassette, or any of this other equipment. But with all this and more, this Cutlass Supreme's just $17,195, which makes you ask, have you priced a Ford lately?
Even nicer is the Oldsmobile Cutlass Supreme Special Edition for just $17,195. It's your money. See your Olds Connection retailer today.
The annual Highland Games are fast approaching the first week in June, but as Glasgow Bureau Chief Todd Hastings tells us, the days leading up to the event are strictly for the kids.
What does it mean to be Scottish? Does it lie in the love of the Emerald Highlands or the lush valleys?
I just like the way Scotland looks with all the mountains and hills and everything. It's really pretty.
Is there something in the Scottish soul stirred by the shrill of the bagpipes and the whirl of the dance?
All you had to do was move your legs around. The easiest part about it.
Or is it something about the chill Scottish nights that inspire excitement and romance?
There art thou, my bonny lass, so deep in love of mine, and I will love thee still, my dear, with other seas gang dry.
As part of their Scottish pageant, kids at South Green Elementary learned about all these things and much more.
I learned about how the flags became Scotland's flag and where golf originated and about all the dances and the music.
As these kids marched out of their pageant as tall and proud as any true Scotsman, maybe they thought that being Scottish is all a state of mind. Todd Hastings, NewsCenter 13.
Taurus, the best-selling car in America 2 years in a row. Taurus comes with a standard V6. Accord only offers a 4-cylinder. With Taurus, you get an automatic transmission, standard. With Accord, you pay extra. Taurus comes with seating for 6 passengers. Accord only seats 5. Plus, with Taurus, you get standard dual airbags and available anti-lock brakes. Now lease a new Ford Taurus for just $242 a month. See your local Ford dealer now for the real deal. Ford Taurus, just $242 a month.
Fine. With Wendy's 99-cent super value menu, you can do things you just can't do anywhere else. For instance, take a junior bacon cheeseburger, put it with a big order of biggie fries and biggie drink. Or replace the junior bacon cheeseburger with a bowl of rich and meaty chili, and the fries with a big baked potato. Or if you like a fresh salad, choose a Caesar side salad. You know, with our 99-cent super value menu, I could do this all day. Are you with me?
Right, Dave.
Good. Now take a Frosty, a bowl of chili, and put it with a biggie drink.
Want a great lawn and garden at a price that's really down to earth? Announcing the new Better Homes and Gardens Garden Center at Walmart. We've combined the quality and experience of Better Homes and Gardens with the always low prices at Walmart to give you the best of both worlds. You'll find knowledgeable lawn and garden associates, quality plants and products, and an information center with all kinds of helpful gardening tips.
If you want a great lawn and garden at a price you can afford, now you know where to go.
ABC News Nightline with Ted Koppel.
Helicopters passing directly overhead here in Mogadishu.
The only show on late-night TV that makes a difference in the morning.
This is where the bomb went off.
Turn up your brightness level. Watch Nightline with Ted Koppel weeknights.
Finally tonight, an area school offers some extra incentive for getting kids to school. Bowling Green High School held its second annual Perfect Attendance raffle today. 216 of the slightly more than 950 students qualified for the drawing. The grand prize, a 1987 Mitsubishi truck, which had been worked on all year by the auto maintenance class. Principal Fred Carter says the policy began last year.
The previous year, the attendance here at Bowling Green High School was slightly below 95%. Last year, it was slightly in excess of 96%. either percentage is an excellent percentage of attendance for high schools.
Sophomore Rico Boyd was the winner of the 1987 Mitsubishi truck. He's not sure what he'll do with the truck, at least until August. That's when he turns 16.
He's got some time to practice.
What a birthday present to look forward to.
Yes, indeed.
And August will be here before we know it.
It'll be hot, too, at that time, in terms of the weather. For right now, though, let's take a look and see what to expect. Pretty much the same as we've had the last 48 hours. 47 for the low tonight, clear and cool. Tomorrow, mostly sunny with a high of 70. Ditto tomorrow night. Looks good for some of those high school district baseball games going on tomorrow.
I'm not sure what you're doing, but I like it.
A lot of us like it. Oh, he's going to be doing another.
Yeah, no argument from us on that forecast. That's our time. Have a great evening. We'll see you back here tomorrow.
Good night.
May 18, 1994.
We will link China's trading privileges to its human rights record and its conduct of trade and weapons sales.
Threats. This administration is becoming notorious for making them against countries all over the world.
North Korea cannot be allowed to develop a nuclear bomb.
ID has been broken. Must and will continue to exert global leadership. Let it go
The
unpunished.
serious imbalance in trade between our two nations cannot continue.
Making threats and then backing down.
Anyone who mistakes what is going on for lack of resolve will be sorely disappointed.
The bottom line is the administration no longer has any credibility in the international arena.
Tonight, the Clinton foreign policy under attack.
This is ABC News Nightline. Reporting from Washington, Ted Koppel.
This administration is known to pay attention to polls, so here's the good news. The latest ABC News Washington Post poll finds that 46% of those surveyed think that President Clinton is doing a better job on the economy than President Bush. 33% think he's doing a worse job. But on foreign affairs, the numbers are reversed. Indeed, they're worse than that. Only 28% think that Mr. Clinton is doing a better job on handling foreign affairs than Mr. Bush. 50% think he's doing a worse job. The perception, in fact, is growing that the Clinton administration is floundering in its handling of foreign policy. It draws lines in the sand only to retreat and draw a fresh line. It stands tall on a given issue one day only to duck on the same issue the next. It's not a case of the public disagreeing with the president's policy. Rather, it's a matter of not being able to identify what that policy is. A mere 13% of the respondents in our poll felt that the administration has a clear foreign policy. In part, of course, the confusion is due to the changing times. The Cold War is over, and it has been replaced by scores of messy regional conflicts in which America's interests are not easily defined. Having said that, the Clinton administration has taken a bad situation and made it worse. Here's Nightline correspondent Chris Bury.
In his campaign for president, Bill Clinton could bluster, as all candidates do, about how he would run foreign policy.
I'd be for freedom for Haiti, and I wouldn't send those people back until we put democracy back in Haiti.
We will make the United States a catalyst for a collective stand against aggression, the action I have urged for some time in response to Serbian aggression in Bosnia.
President Clinton has been criticized for not living up to such tough talk, but a candidate's promises are by nature cheap, and a president's word something quite different. Or is it? Mr. Clinton's critics see a disturbing pattern in his foreign policy, a presidential habit of empty threats, hollow promises, and rhetoric that does not match resolve. Korea. At the demilitarized zone last July, President Clinton could not have been graver in his warning to North Korea.
It is pointless for them to try to develop nuclear weapons because if they ever use them, it would be the end of their country.
In November, this ultimatum.
North Korea cannot be allowed to develop a nuclear bomb. We have to be very firm about it.
By April, Defense Secretary Perry made the startling admission North Korea was not only developing one or two bombs,
They are embarked on a program of development which could get them a dozen or more bombs a year. That's what we're trying to stop right now.
Last night, the Defense Secretary warned the U.S. could be only weeks away from a major confrontation with North Korea. Haiti. After the debacle of America's first show of force, the humiliation of the USS Harlan County, Haiti's military leaders responded by killing supporters of the exiled president, Jean-Bertrand Aristide. 2 weeks ago, President Clinton warned Haiti's military again.
I'm not ruling out any options, but to use a phrase the Vice President made famous in 1992, it's time for them to go.
Since then, Haiti's military rulers have named their own president in clear defiance of Clinton. Today, they staged a military parade. China.
We will link China's trading privileges to its human rights record and its conduct of trade and weapons sales.
Last year, the president fulfilled his campaign promise with an executive order. It conditioned the renewal of China's most favored nation trading status on significant progress on human rights, including the release of political dissidents and the humane treatment of prisoners. In March, the Chinese responded by rounding up more dissidents. This week, the British Broadcasting Corporation documented horrific conditions and summary executions in China's forced labor camps. But Mr. Clinton had already backed off from his earlier threat.
Yes, I believe if we were to withdraw most favored nation status from China, it would undermine what I hope to see in terms of our relationship, and it would be detrimental to the economic progress of China.
Bosnia. In January, President Clinton and his NATO partners warned Bosnian Serbs once again to stop their shelling of Sarajevo. The president said, if we are going to reassert this warning, it cannot be seen as mere rhetoric. Those who attack Sarajevo must understand we are serious. The Serbs ignored the warning as they had ignored so many others. Later that same month, the president sounded as if the world was helpless to stop the killing in Bosnia.
I don't think that the international community has the capacity to stop people within that nation from their civil war until they decide to do it.
In April, as the Serbs pounded Gorazda, the president's defense secretary insisted NATO air power would not be used to prevent Gorazda's collapse.
We will not enter the war to stop that from happening. That is correct.
1 week later, U.S. planes joined a NATO attack on Serbian artillery. Japan. Last July, after meeting with Prime Minister Miyazawa, President Clinton talked tough on trade.
We are coming to a common understanding that the serious imbalance in trade between our two nations cannot continue.
It did. In fact, last year's trade deficit with Japan was the largest ever. In February, with a new Japanese prime minister, President Clinton again threatened to retaliate.
Unfortunately, we've not been able to reach agreement in any of the 4 areas we identified last July. Of course, Japan has further proposals. Our door remains open. But ultimately, Japan's market must be open.
This week, the president's economic advisor acknowledged that the tough talk had failed, and a new approach to Japan was needed. Even the president's friends in Congress are speaking out against the confusion, the drift, the empty threats.
If we dwindle, if we dawdle, if we equivocate any longer, and if this president doesn't stand up forthrightly and put some backbone behind our policy, then I don't see how we're ever going to stand for human rights and democracy anywhere else in the world.
President Clinton may have indeed been elected to fix the economy, and he may have inherited a bad hand of global quagmires, as the administration likes to point out. But the ABC News poll suggests that criticism from so many quarters has clearly eroded public confidence in his ability to conduct foreign policy. This is Chris Bury for Nightline in Washington.
When we come back, we'll be joined by one of the administration's toughest critics, former Defense Secretary Dick Cheney, and by the U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations, Madeleine Albright.
This is ABC News Nightline. Brought to you by Lexus Luxury Automobile.
Over the years, the resale value of the Lexus LS has been extraordinarily high, which is one reason why its lease payments are noticeably low. In fact, now you can lease a Lexus LS for less than you could in 1989. Go figure. The Lexus LS. It's a historic value at your Lexus dealer.
One shot. That's all it takes for weeds. Roundup.
My folks are here. These Super 8 motel rooms are roomy.
At these prices, we'll never leave.
Super 8 Motels, 1-800-800-8000. So affordable, so comfortable.
Your pap smear is negative? Not necessarily. In a major undercover investigation, Primetime sent slides to labs around the country and found some are missing cancer. Don't miss this Primetime in May.
More. 33% more. 33% bigger chicken breast pieces from KFC. They're part of the $9.99 Family Choice Meals, offering your choice of 8 delicious pieces of original recipe or extra tasty crispy chicken or a whole Colonel's Rotisserie Gold chicken. Each meal comes complete with 2 large side items and 4 biscuits, all for just $9.99. The $9.99 Family Choice Meals, only from KFC.
We do chicken right.
Ford Taurus, the best-selling car in America 2 years in a row. Taurus comes with a standard V6. Accord only offers a 4-cylinder. With Taurus, you get an automatic transmission, standard. With Accord, you pay extra. Taurus comes with seating for 6 passengers. Accord only seats 5. Plus, with Taurus, you get standard dual airbags and available anti-lock brakes. Now lease a new Ford Taurus for just $242 a month. See your local Ford dealer now for the real deal. Ford Taurus, just $242 a month.
Joining us from the United Nations studios in New York, Madeleine Albright. She is the U.S. ambassador to the United Nations and is one of the administration's top foreign policy advisors. And from JFK Airport in New York, Dick Cheney. He was Secretary of Defense during the Bush administration. He has been an outspoken critic of the Clinton administration's foreign policy decisions. Madam Ambassador, it seems to me that you got the tougher brief, so why don't you go first? We've just had a long litany of shifting policy, and the shifting has all been in the words of senior members of this administration. Explain that, if you would.
Well, I think what you have not talked about are really the major successes of the administration, which are in the areas that are really of vital interest to the United States. In our relationships with Russia, which are successful, and we are pressing forward with them for a reformed Russia, and I think that is moving forward. In terms of the Middle East peace process, where Secretary Christopher is right now, and where we think that some major strides have been made. In the issue of denuclearization, which is one of major importance, we have been very successful in terms of specifically Ukraine denuclearizing. And finally, in the area of economic security, our firm position, the President's on NAFTA and the GATT round have been very successful. Where you have been pointing to are what we really see as another order of issues, those which are of interest to the United States, but not really vital to our very being.
Let me stop you right there, because I am sure that you do not intend to include North Korea and its nuclear program in that definition.
No, and I was going to get to North Korea. I think there we have information today that the IAEA inspectors are in North Korea, that the process is moving forward. It is a firm process where we are working towards the denuclearization of the Korean Peninsula, and there is nothing at all to indicate that there is no resolve on North Korea. In fact, anyone who mistakes what is going on for lack of resolve, whether it's Kim Il-sung or our critics, will be sorely disappointed, because the resolve is really there. The main point, Ted, and let me finish, is that we are working in North Korea on a process to try to achieve some kind of an end to the issue here rather than just showing that we can flex our muscles.
Ambassador Albright, I do want to get to Secretary Cheney, but since we have just gone through that long litany, let me pick up on what you just said about North Korea. The fact of the matter is that if you are wrong in your estimate of the North Korean reaction, what has been said by everyone from the president on down could lead to the most devastating war anywhere in the world that we have seen since World War II. And I am not at all sure whether that is what you intend to imply. So let me be clear.
Well, I think that what is very clear is that we are resolved to make sure that there has not been diversion of nuclear weapons material and that the North Koreans will not proceed with a nuclear program. And what we're doing is working the diplomatic method in order to avoid a massive confrontation. But what we are indicating is resolve that if it does not work diplomatically, that we will proceed with a sanctions process in the United Nations. And finally, that we are determined to make sure that the South Koreans are protected and that our interests in nuclear non-proliferation are protected.
So you are saying it would be, if all those other means fail, it would be a casus belli. The United States might go to war over it.
We have a treaty, and we believe very strongly that it's important to show our resolve.